In the first three parts, we learned how the use of small millets have helped uproot many problems, including diabetes, hypothyroidism, infertility, multiple sclerosis, and severe acidity. Dr. Khader talked about the fiber, the science of the fiber of these wonderful small millets that clean our body 24/7 with their amazing antioxidants. Here he sheds light on the reason for the rapidly growing problem of obesity and explains which small millet can actually help us eliminate this problem. He also talks of the different small millets and their positive effects on various parts of our body. Lastly, he talks of how the small millets actually have an impact on all the 5 dimensions of our health: mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, and energetic. Let's listen carefully.
So, accumulated fat, where should I do? Tap it onto your tummy, tap it onto your buttocks, tap it onto your shoulders. You start becoming obese. So, it is what you are eating, you are putting on weight. So, now obesity is a disease. In America, I believe Houston, it is the obesity capital of the world. You imagine this funny thing, that if you just were to control the glucose release into your blood, this problem doesn't exist. As simple as that. So who does the job? It is the millets. So people who are obese have to start eating millets. And it so happens the kodo millet, the fiber, also has the extra capacity to pull out the glycogen, pull out the fat, and then convert it into your regular discarded toxic morbid waste. So, in fact, you are obese. The fiber of kodo helps you to get rid of your, in fact, in our culture, jails, there is a community called Jain. They want to actually leave this body. They want to die. Meet the God, whatever, called Salekhan Vrat. So, first thing they do is they leave everything. They don't eat anything other than kodo for 6 weeks to 6 months. Then after that, they stop eating kodo millet also, alternate days. Then after another 6 weeks, they eat kodo millet once a week. And then they die. This is called Salekhan Vrat. So, and Mahavir Jain, he used to beg for food once a day. And he used to go and beg and stretch only one hand. And the people who were giving him alms used to ask, what do you prefer? He said, if we have kodo millet rice, please give. So that's how the historical... So this is a very old, ancient grain, and the great seers, great sadhakas were dependent on. So kodo is actually in Sanskrit, lekhana means writing. So actually it is the fact that you tip and then you write. And that's how the words are connected. Okay, that is side story. So kodo millet fiber can dissolve the fat and meat on your body. So that's what I'm trying to communicate to you. So each and every millet is now designed by God. We have found out by experiments and studying the ancient texts of various countries also actually. This comes first to dissolve your. So it is working with your blood and bone marrow. So we found kodo helps in lot of these diseased conditions associated with bone marrow, blood, cleaning, and all these kinds of things. So that's how we incorporated. I'm telling you the logic of how the protocols evolved for me. The science of why these protocols the way they are. I'm trying to explain. In fact, I have not done this in many of my other lectures. See, you have dismantled the seeds of these millets. Nowhere in the world you have the seeds of millets. For heaven's sake, foxtail millet is called Italian millet. Barnyard millet is called Japanese or German millet. Kodo millet is called actually Chinese and Himalayan millet. And little millet is called African millet. Brown top millet is called American millet. Nowhere you have these millet seeds. But for Colorado, it is grown even today in Colorado, tons and tons of it. But sadly, you guys are saying it is bird feed and throwing it away. The FDA has removed it from food groups. It's only bird feed. You cannot eat brown top millet in America because it is not referred to as a food grain. So even if you want to eat the brown top millet, the FDA doesn't give you permission. Then we figured out little millet does the same job for your genital organs. That is, in women, the uterus, the fallopian tube, the ovaries, and all that associated organs. And in men, it is the testes, the production of sperms, and erectile dysfunctions. All these kinds of diseased conditions were created. In fact, there are not kids that are going to be born in future. The human race is actually drying up sperm counts because the way they are eating. And hormone imbalance is the main cause for many of these hormone-related problems. In fact, of late in the world, this, what is that? There is a acronym. Lesbian, gay, LGBT. That percentage is slowly increasing in the world because of hormonal imbalance that we have created by eating what we are eating. That is milk, and that comes, I am trying to introduce you the word so-called white revolution. So the green revolution has done enough damage, and now we are having a white revolution called milk. Europe and America went to India and found an animal called cow. We got it here and then tinkered with it with IVF and genetic modifications and said, lo and behold, your cow gives 1 liter of milk, our cow gives 25 liters of milk. We are A1, they said. Then our cow became A2. That's how this A1, A2 business. And then you see, milk is the complete food. All the scientists started blah, 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 and then it started translating itself into science books of the whole world, curriculum. Milk, the complete food. You drink milk, give your baby milk. Milk, 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 everywhere milk, milk, milk. They started giving milk, and how the milk is made, they are giving you steroid-ridden milk. And lo and behold, the girl started menstruating at the age of 6, 7, 8. And no doctor, no scientist on this planet was baffled why the hell this is happening. In fact, my journey of this began with this particular event in America. 1987, I came first time after finishing my PhD back in Portland, West Coast, Beaverton, Oregon. I go to a hospital to give a medical certificate to join as a postdoc. In the reception hall, I meet a small girl of 6-year-old staring into the space, not knowing what's happening, and I, being what I am, asked her mother what happened to the kid. She said she's menstruation and cycle and bleeding is not stopped, that's why we brought her to the hospital. So I couldn't keep quiet. It was a shock for me, shock of my life. Where I came from, the girls menstruated at the age of 15. Why the hell this is happening here? This country is declaring itself to be the most advanced country in the world. Here we are. I went to the doctor because I had to go and get my test done, and then I asked the doctor, sir, why is this girl menstruating? No, this girl is little early. Generally, the girls are menstruating here at the age of 9. That's what he said. It was a bigger shock for me. I thought there's one case, some abnormality has happened. No, it is a general thing. Then I couldn't sleep for 3 weeks. Then I figured out that these guys are feeding the babies the artificial milk that they are producing in tons of it. It started in 1980 itself in America. And that was a scary thing for me. What if this technology goes to India and then the Indian girls also start menstruating at the age of... It's a big thing for me, because how on earth we can make a small girl say you are ready to be called a woman? So we have changed the nature of human beings on this planet, and we have not even blinking our eye, even today. It's been 40 years that I have been shocked, and I have been, in fact, that's what made me not to respect this science. Because we have changed, we have made a girl menstruate, the so-called science, and they are talking, it is a earth-shattering revolution, white revolution. All over the world, people will be given this milk and no problems will be there at all, very healthy, and you are digging your own pit. Actually, the whole world, I can close down all the hospitals if only human race stops drinking milk the next 6 weeks. And the green revolution screwed up glucose balance, white revolution screwed up the hormone balance. Put together, the doctors started feeding antibiotics left and right, and it created another hell called microbial balance, because it is the gut microbes that give you, in fact, it is the doctor within you is the microbes that are living in your tummy. And that's how actually millets restore your health, because we make the doctor back into your tummy, restore the doctor. So that is the ambali, that is the fermented porridge for you. It is the microbes association with your living cells make all wonderful things happen. So you are not going to be healthy unless the real doctor is put back to work in your tummy. So you don't need to measure, you don't need to have any CT scan, MRI scan, this scan, that scan. If you have wonderful symbiotic living with your gut microbes, and everything else will fall in place, because it is the microbes that generate the triggers, regulators, moderators, you name it. Everything is done. Which organ has deficiency of which vitamin? They have the signals. And they have the wherewithal to make your living cells get that particular deficient chemical in the right amount at the right time. I am talking about 5 dimensions here. And so no technology on this planet can do this in a single given moment. And that's what is unbelievable. And that's the science for it. Recently, these doctors are, the so-called researchers are saying that your brain is controlled by the gut microbes. So if you take care of your tummy, it will take care of your brain. So the real thinking, the so-called mental derangements, so-called mental restlessness, so-called schizophrenic conditions, so-called helplessness, so-called suicidal tendencies, all this can be wiped out in a matter of 6 weeks to 6 months. Wow. And this is the science of it. So we have helped hundreds of schizophrenic patients, and we have a protocol for it. And that is the science of Ambali. Are you understanding? I'm trying to communicate these so-called big concepts into common man's language, but at the same time, I don't want to lose the science of this, lest people start using magic to do millets. It looks nice, saying magic of millets, but
Wonder of millets is better.
yeah, I would love to use the word wonderful millets. The wonders of millets, not magic of millets. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to. I'm glad you used the word because I could speak so much, and when the dimension that I never plan my lectures. I just walk in and start talking. So that's beautiful platform for me that you have given, putting that title, and we're trying, that is not the title. I'm glad I have explained to you many things that I have not explained many places. The science of humbling, science of fermented porridge, science of fiber, science of EMF, TMF, all wonderful things have come out. So it is this beautiful platform that we have created for all the diseased conditions of human race, that this modern life has actually the reason why we have all these diseases. So let's go back to our ancestral food.
Next, we will hear Dr. Khader connect climate change to what we are choosing to eat. We will be able to see clearly how our choices are going to determine the fate of our and our children's future.